Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mother vs. Son podcast. For this podcast, I do have to apologize, my friends. So this video is actually coming a little sooner than Thursday, and that's because Thursday there's going to be a special video. Sadly, you guys are about to hear a quick story on what happened, but Thursday there will be a video. It will just be a video of Tessie answering some questions. Hello my friends. So today I have a little bit of a disappointing message, and that is my mother and I filmed over an hour and a half worth of content. Some really good content, some content that would have been so funny and amazing to watch. As you guys can see on screen, the video. Well, the problem is with the camera that we used, there's two recording settings. One recording setting plays with no audio. Therefore, our entire video series was recorded with no audio, and there is no way to get this audio because it just does not record audio. With that being said, it is definitely very disappointing, and nobody is more disappointing than me because I was the one that should have made sure the audio was working, and I double checked and I missed the little icon that shows no audio. So I am very disappointed in myself. My mother says this is just a mistake, but being the person that I am very disappointed in myself for this mistake happening. With that being said, I'm going to try my best here, and I'm going to answer some questions that were given to us, and I do apologize for this technical error. It will not happen again, that I can promise. So my friends, with that being said, people have asked questions, and I'm going to answer the questions that people had asked me. People wanted to know some ideas to lower their electric in their mobile home. Well, the thing about a mobile home is mobile homes tend to be built older, so they lack insulation, and insulation, they don't normally have as much insulation, and the wiring is normally older as well, which causes the wires to heat up, and they're just not efficient. So a lot of mobile homes can actually see increase in electric cost. A couple things you guys can do is connect different appliances to surge protectors. So instead of pulling a plug out from a wall, connect your devices, your computer and stuff to surge protectors, and always turn off the surge protector every night. By disconnecting things, this will help decrease your watts that are being used and help save money. Also, something I personally like to do is, let's say you have a light that has 2 or 3 light bulbs in it. I personally like to remove all but one light bulb, and then when company is over, just simply put in the other 2 light bulbs so it doesn't look awkward. This can save you a lot of money as well over the long period. Another thing you can do is also try and keep the lights out as best as you can. You can also do something to cut back on electric when it comes to heating. I personally like using electric heated blankets. They use about 100 to 250 watts. And if you cover yourself with a blanket versus, say, have a space heater running, you can decrease your electric use by a lot. Because most space heaters on medium are 500 watts and on high 1,500 watts. So if you're using a 250 watt or less heated blanket, you're saving yourself all that extra wattage, which in terms will save you money during the colder temperatures. So someone asked about let's see, do I like reading books, or why I don't like reading books. Well, when it comes to reading books, I personally love audio. I love audiobooks. I'm not really a reader. The only book I have ever read completely was the Bible. I've read the Bible twice, but I prefer audiobooks. And every evening, I actually listen to audio from different podcasts to biblical teachings to the Dead Sea Scrolls, New Testament, Old Testament of the Bible. Listen to Dave Ramsey and some other podcast people that I like to enjoy. The Iced Coffee Hour and so much more. I find that listening to podcasts in bed helps me fall asleep better because I'll listen for probably about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half of audio. I have earphones on, so I don't wake my wife up, and we listen to that, or I listen to the audio until I feel like I'm really tired, turn it off, and I go to bed, and it helps me sleep better. Let's see what else some people were wondering. Do I believe on living off the land? So, fun fact, when my wife and I paid off all of our debt and became debt-free, I spent $5,000 buying prepping supplies, from fire starters to tents to water purifiers to solar systems like solar batteries, solar panels, power banks, and so much more, freeze-dried foods. That way we have stuff if we ever do need something. Now, I'm not one of these people that fear about what could happen. I just like to plan. Living off the land, I think, would be a lot of fun if I had a cabin in the woods where no one else was around. I think that would be really exciting and something fun to do. I would love to have a cabin someday. We'll see if that's in God's plan for me, my wife. We'll see. But it would be fun to have because I'd love to turn it into an off-grid cabin, put solar. I am a type of person that loves luxury in certain areas. So I think what I would do is I'd definitely make it solar. I'd really, really, make it that I could have, internet and different stuff. Like I could hook up a water line from a creek running into a heater, which would heat shower water and bath water and all that stuff. I would love to just have fun and do. And maybe someday that would be a part of a video. Who knows? Only God knows some of these things. We can only plan the best that we can according to what we have. So, there is a saying, and well, let's see what else we'll go on here. How are we planning for retirement? Well, I can't speak for my mother. Sadly, all these questions we went over, and there's no audio, so it's a little disappointing. So ask your questions again. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to leave a comment, ask your questions, and we can go over again and see, if there's anything that I missed that you want to know from my mom, please drop a comment and let us know. And we will do, we'll follow up in a podcast with audio this time. So how I plan for retirement is I max out my IRA. I really enjoy having an IRA, and you can make an IRA account with any brokerage account. There's traditional or Roth IRA. I personally have both, but I tend to lean towards the Roth IRA. Traditional, basically you put money in a traditional and you don't pay taxes on that money until you pull it out, including any money that you make from the account you're charged taxes on. With a Roth IRA, you can withdraw your money. I believe it's 59.5 years old. So once you hit 59.5, you can withdraw any money and any gained money tax-free from that account. So having a Roth IRA, especially the younger you are, is better because anything you put into that, you don't have to pay taxes on it when you withdraw it from that account. So if you make $100,000 in profit in that Roth IRA account, you pay no taxes on that money, which is pretty amazing as long as you take it after the age 59.5. That's one way of planning for retirement. I also believe having my eggs in very many baskets. So I have tons of eggs, or I should say we. When I say I mean we, my wife and I. We have tons of eggs in many baskets, including collectibles including cash, including the IRA accounts, including regular stock accounts, including crypto, including Pokemon cards, including precious metals, including guns and ammo, and so much more. So there's a lot of different things, and that's just I personally love having my eggs spread. By having your eggs spread, you don't make as much money, but you are more protected if something happens in one of those sectors. Let's move on to another question here. Let's see. How do we feel when people say get a real job? Now, my mother actually answered this in full depth, and she may do this on another video, so you guys might see her full answer on a future video, because this was something that very important that had no audio. I view this as something that's pretty important. A lot of people say that, being a content creator is not a real job. But what they don't understand is the definition of a job is a task, something that you do. A definition of work is something that you're paid to do. This is both a job and work because it's a task and also we're paid to do it. Now, what's different from this job versus other jobs is this job is your life. You're doing this pretty much 24/7, 7 days a week. And I'm talking to the people that are doing it full-time. If you're doing it part-time, it's like a part-time job. If you're doing it full-time, it's going to be one of the lowest paying jobs you'll ever have for the first, many years. And the process of it all is you film, so you record videos, you edit those videos, you process those videos, you upload those videos, you do the tags, the title, descriptions, thumbnails, you prep the video, you promote the video, and you share it on different social media platforms and just different areas around. After you're done doing that, you then respond to the comments. You deal with the data of it all, the back end of it all, the comments, you deal with the kind comments, the troll comments, and you go through that whole thing, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just a couple things that's all a part of this. Constantly all throughout the day, you're checking your accounts, you're checking your comments, you're checking your stats to see where you can perform better, to see where you can share it better. You are doing emails, and if you're, as my mother and I are Amazon influencers as well, we are dealing with brands, we're dealing with agents that work for brands, we're dealing with emails, we're dealing with that whole aspect of the business. So then we're recording products, we are uploading those products, we are tagging, titling, thumbnailing those products, posting those products, sharing those products with the brands. The brands are giving feedback, and we go from there on that. I personally work with over 250 brands per month. So I'm personally dealing with 250 brands per month and agents per month. And I'm getting about 50 to 100 emails per day. It slows down on Saturdays and Sundays because most of the brands aren't working on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm dealing with that aspect of it. I mean, I guess if you want to say that we don't have a job or I don't have a job, I guess managing 250 plus people per month, I guess that's easy. I don't know. I guess, a lot of people like to say things, but when it comes down to it, it's actually more of our job than simply people realize. A lot of people wake up, go to the job, do their job, come home, and they leave their job at their job. They're not doing it 24/7. For us, we wake up, it's our job. We go to bed, it's our job. We wake up, it's our job. Our job doesn't ever leave us. It's always with us. We're always taking our camera. We're always recording. We're always doing different stuff. A lot of times you see videos, my mom would do a video. Well, that's just one video. She's done more videos for future videos, and it just adds up. So overall, everything, it's a job. And anyone who's done YouTube or Amazon full-time or a social media influencer full-time understands that it is a job. It's more than a job than people could ever imagine. So I believe that's about it on my end. I've gone over some questions here, and again, if I did not get to your question, that's just because, well, with everything that has been going on, you know, with the no audio, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a very organized person when it comes to this kind of stuff. This is probably the biggest mistake I've ever made in my YouTube career out of all these years, was these videos. So with that being said, my friends, I do apologize again, and definitely not going to happen again. So thank you for being understanding, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. And remember, no matter what happens in life, you have to try and ground yourself, because if you let your mistakes win, well, then you fail. Because when you give up, you fail. But if you refuse to give up, you look for better options, you make up for your mistake the best that you can, and you do the best that you can, then in the end, your failures are just life lessons that you can learn from, grow from, and learn to not make that same mistake again.